Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Brian if you're new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, you beautiful, magnificent, sexy warrior of light. That's right, that's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments at the start of these videos. Today we're going to dive into an update from Yoshi-P regarding the login issues, all the congestion, all the errors, and what they're planning on doing about fixing those. Obviously, if you've been trying to get on like myself during any peak times, note that it's like rolling the dice, and maybe you're going to win the lottery and get in to the game. Big issue has been the disconnects in queue, and Yoshi-P is going to address that here. There's a lot of information in this post. In fact, if you don't want to just read it for yourself and you don't necessarily care for my thoughts, hey, top link in the description for you. Go check it out. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and maybe you'll come back and check out even more video game news from me. If you guys get your video game from me, news from me, thank you. I really appreciate that. But I want to go ahead and dive into the core post because I think there's some really good things here. I think there's some really good things to hope for here. But note that we're not there at the time of this recording. We've got at least, it looks like 24 hours or a little bit more to dive in before we can hopefully start seeing some, pressure taken off of the issue, and obviously the frustration, and obviously, just the anger that we've seen within the community. So first things first, let's go ahead and dive into the post. It starts, hello, this is Nokia Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you all for participating in the early access and official launch of Endwalker. Since the start of early access, we've been seeing a lot of unprecedented number of active players, and the highest we've seen since launch of 14, as well as record number of simultaneous logins. But above all of this, the number of connections has far surpassed the scale that their services, and which resulted in long wait time when attempting to log in. Even during the congestion, we've received words of support and encouragement, for which we are truly grateful. Thank you all very much for that. And on the other hand, we sincerely apologize for all the long wait times and the resulted frustration experiences by players who've attempted to log in. I'd like to share some information regarding the ongoing congestion and the reasons behind the errors that have appeared while in waiting at queues. And while current status of our fixes are on the way, for more information on the error codes not listed below, please see their previous announcement on December the 5th. But here we go. Lobby, server, and maintenance to address errors. Allow me to share some information regarding specific errors. We are planning for a full maintenance on the lobby servers at the earliest time possible. In order to resolve these errors, although the maintenance time isn't fully solidified, it is estimated that it's going to take about 30 minutes. And this will not affect any players who are already logged into the game. But during these 30 minutes, players will not be able to make new login attempts, and the login queue will be unavailable. They deeply apologize for this and ask for your cooperation while we address these server errors. The exact maintenance time will be shared in an upcoming announcement, so we do not have the exact time right now. I'll be sure to update you guys either in a community post or in a video if necessary. Be sure to subscribe for your free compliments and like the video if you get an opportunity. Anyway, let's continue. All worlds maintenance. In early morning of Wednesday, December 8th, we're going to be conducting maintenance across all worlds to address server errors, and aside from those mentioned above, as well as a few issues that can be resolved on the server side. This requires all servers to go offline and is estimated to take about 4 hours to complete. Details on maintenance timing will be announced in the future, and I'd ask for your understanding and cooperation regarding this. So here are the details that they're trying to fix, or at least more information about the errors. Error 4004 right before logging in. Currently, they believe most frustrated cases are when you've been waiting in queue and you're going to get disconnected by an error when your turn comes around, forcing you to line up all in queue again. These connects are happening often as a result of a 4004 and 3001, and here I'd like to provide details on the status of countermeasures against 4004, how the process works. To prevent servers from going down as a result of mass logins or overloading, the process of logging into a world has reached the login cap, involves waiting until the world can admit 100 players. When admitting the first 100 players into the queue, the process that is being constantly repeated. The issue here is that they've confirmed an issue that during the process of admitting these 100 players, if certain conditions coincide with the combination while the servers are experiencing extremely high loads, up to 25 of these players are going to receive this error. And as a result, they're not going to guarantee they occur when the servers are experiencing extremely high loads. And in the number of players who experience the issue varies. However, considering login queues can take up to several hours, and an hour, and how an error can cause players to have to return to the back of the queue, we currently recognize this is the most frustrating issue. We have been able to locate the cause of this issue, and that occurs due to extremely high server loads, and are currently fixing the source code for the lobby servers. Although the fix itself is finished, the process of checking whether the fix is actually resolving the issue requires time, as it is an extremely complex process. In addition, due to the complexity of the conditions of occurrence itself, it is possible that we have yet to address more detailed conditions, but we will reflect those fixes and continue to monitor the situation. As soon as our preparations are ready, we will carry out the work through the aforementioned lobby server maintenance, and we ask that you just wait a little bit longer until this fix is made. Regarding the error 3001 right before logging in, I'd also like to detail on countermeasures regarding 3001. A login cap is placed on worlds in order to prevent them from going down due to high loads. Despite this, a number of extremely overloaded servers have allowed players to log in beyond its cap, resulting in the allowed number of lobby server connections to fail and cause error 3001 and disconnect the players in queue. We currently have a general idea of what is causing this issue in extremely overloaded worlds, and a fix is underway. However, these areas are complex processing carried out, and careful fixing is required for the process. As such, fixing, confirming, implementing to the lobby server will require time. This will be implemented in the maintenance schedule for December the 8th, and we are putting our full effort into it. But we haven't been able to determine the full details. Further details regarding this will be announced at a later time as well. 3001 Cause 2. This is an issue that is occurring only on the Tonberry world on the Elemental Data Center. On Tonberry, there has been the largest number of login requests for the game's worlds, and players are helping to mitigate the issue using the world visit system and logging into other worlds. However, due to the way chat connections work when using world visit system, we cannot completely cut off a player's connection to their character's home world, thus causing the total number of active connections to become enormous, and we have confirmed that as a result, the situation similar to Cause 1 can occur. Resolution for this. Although we are aware of the relative risk of the Tonberry world going down, we've increased the number of network connections that it is absolute maximum. Your patience would be greatly appreciated as we monitor the situation based off this tentative fix for the time being. Regarding 2002, the thing that has plagued my soul all weekend, or at least Sunday and forward, now I would like to explain the details around 2002. In order to prevent major login server outage, Final Fantasy XIV has a limit of no more than 17,000 total players waiting to log in per logical data center. This cap is set uniformly regardless of how many worlds exist on a data center. Now, in the total number of players waiting for the logical cap exceeds 17,000, error 2002 will be displayed and you will not be able to queue up for login. We are now ready to deploy a backup development server in the public lobby servers, which will improve the management capacity of the lobby server and raise the maximum number of players in queue to around 21,000. Since this will not require any maintenance, the error on the side of caution and proceed with the development outside of peak hours, it is scheduled to be completed in the night of December 7th, Japan time. Regarding measures towards the fundamental resolution for congestion, when it comes to the fundamental measures against the type of large-scale congestion, and this is something that was brought up on the Lodestone announcement, we made ahead of early access, the most effective method would be large-scale addition of new worlds in all regions. On the one hand, following the explosive rise in players coming to 14 beginning in spring 2021, we spent over a half a year scrambling to address the need and add new worlds. However, due to the policies surrounding COVID-19, which have had an effect on the entire world, even now we have been unable to procure the required hardware to adding the new worlds. Regarding the global semiconductor shortage, supply chain issues, when it comes to adding new worlds, we need tens of server machines for every world that we add. Server machines are high-performance computers that utilize numerous semiconductors, and however, due to COVID-19 countermeasures currently put in place, many of the factories across the globe which produce semiconductors have halted production or have faced labor shortages. This has ultimately led to the decrease in the number of semiconductors being produced and has resulted in a worldwide semiconductor shortage. Furthermore, this does not only pertain to the production of semiconductors, but from a logistics standpoint as well. COVID-19 countermeasures continue to explosively push up demand and create this turbulent situation. We have to put our considerable investment, even more so than usual, to secure the needed hardware. But even so, the current fact of the matter is that long lead time is needed to prepare for server hardware. If we try to look at this as semiconductor shortage may be solved, unfortunately, given the state of things, we aren't able to estimate when we might reach this resolution. The 14 server and infrastructure teams accelerated work to implement the addition of high-performance machines that we had secured, as well as optimize the server source code and increase the number of maximum logins per world. I promise that we will continue to put this type of effort. Given the current situation, we anticipate that we may take several months or more to add new worlds. I want to express my sincerest apologies for all players in the inconvenience this caused, and I appreciate your continued understanding and support in regards to this matter. So here we are. Obviously, this is some decent information, and my hope is, and I think everybody's hope here is that these are going to be the things that fix and resolve the issues at hand. Meaning, if we can, I'll keep stating it because I've seen some people in the comments misrepresent my position. The issue I have is not that there are login queues. Login queues are just a state of online games. My issues are that people get in that line and it gets blown up to get out. If you get into queue and you get a position and you should be able to trust that that position's gonna continue to remain outside of your power going out, outside of you giving up. Like, okay, if I'm at position 3,000 and it takes, an hour per 1,000 players to get into the game, 3 hours, okay, that's fine. At least I know that. The problem I have is that 3 hours could turn into 3 hours and then another 4 hours because now you're at position 4,000 when it resets, and then at 5 hours. Like, that's literally just soul crushing to a lot of players. Obviously, like when you get on the game at different and odd hours, like that actually works out for you. And so I know a lot of people have been playing that way. So hopefully I'm rooting for the team that this is the fix. Obviously this is like everybody's under like crazy circumstances. So there are there's a lot of space for debate. I've seen a lot of people saying that Square Enix should have done better. I think I've seen a lot of people say, what else could they do? And the only thing that I believe that they can do is communicate with us openly and honestly, which Yoshi-P does, as well as just do their absolute best. And it's up to me, who can be upset that I get kicked out of a queue, but not upset that there's a queue in the first place. That's perfectly reasonable. And then for me, like I always advise, the things that I can control, okay, great. I can control my emotions. I can control how I react to things. The things I can't control, getting yeeted out of a queue. I can choose to then spend my time hitting my head up against the wall. And that's a choice that you can make as well. But I'm personally going to choose something different rather than sit here and get mad over something I have no control over. So hopefully this fixes the issues, because then I can sit in queue. That's not a problem. I can easily, I've played MMOs for such a long time. Queues don't bother me. That's just a fact. But I'm really rooting for the team in this case. I want to give you guys the news. That's my opinion. You can always let me know yours in the comments below, guys. Thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully this is some good news in your feed today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to sound off in the comments below. If you feel like I earned it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you do so I can welcome you officially to the channel. And a shout out to Ethan for his constant support as a member. You guys in the memberships really have stepped up, and my family thanks you very much. And my wife tells me to stream more because of that. So if you like streams, there you go. If you don't, you can blame my wife. Either way. So guys, thanks for being here. Hopefully y'all have a great day. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.
Yes, Brian, teach me how to heal on a controller. Taking time to learn, it feels awkward. I'm using your layout for buttons, so I'm looking forward to that video. Hey, he's back. Glad you're feeling better. Can't wait for your Sage controller guide in the future. That's right, baby.
That's right, baby.